Hey all, my name is Kurt. This is Trent. Welcome to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. Today's going to be a fun show.
Is it?
It's going to be a lot of fun. I've had a lot of people, and you know this too, we've had a lot of people ask you about me and ask me what bourbon or whiskey do I like to drink over a piece of ice. Now, Trenton, you know I do like some bourbon and whiskey over ice. Some.
I know of one that you really like over ice. But that's
Right,
it.
which is?
Rare breed.
Rare breed. I've said that quite a few times. On the majority, I prefer my whiskey neat. Majority. However, there are several that I really do enjoy over a piece of ice. And we're going to get into that today. On this bar top are my 5 favorite bourbon and whiskey that I like to drink over a piece of ice. All right? How often do you drink your bourbon over ice?
Never.
And that's why he's back here. I didn't know that until we started this video today. He's never even tried bourbon or whiskey over ice.
I think I have probably when I first started, because when I first started, you were handing me like 130 proof stuff, and I was like, man, just can't do it. So,
but it's been a long time, is what you're saying.
And if I did ice, I just mixed in like a little piddly ice cube from the freezer box and just twirled it around until it disappeared. So I don't have like the big honking things in there.
Right. So you were just basically diluting it a little bit before you would drink it earlier in the day when you started drinking bourbon and whiskey. Okay, that makes sense. Well, let me just give my 2 cents right off the bat, and we'll get right into this here real quick. But as I always say, and I will continue to say forever, drink what you like the way you like it. Right. Some of you folks prefer any bourbon and whiskey over ice. Period. Fine. That's really not a problem. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you're doing it wrong, because you're the consumer. You do it the way you want to do it. If you prefer to drink all of your bourbon and whiskey neat, then that's fine too. No problem whatsoever. Myself, I probably drink 95% of my whiskey neat. There's just a few that I just really love over ice, but I will say this to you. I only drink higher proof over ice. I never drink single malts over ice, no matter what. I never drink lower proof whiskey over ice, no matter what.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm at. So on the bar top, buddy, is my favorites. What I did for you is I poured just a little bit neat to in a Glencairn, so that you can kind of give a little bit of a perspective neat and over ice. Behind the bar top, I have ice. I have glasses. I'm going to prep a couple for you. I didn't want to pour all of them at the same time, because once we started the video and you get to the very end, it's going to be a little bit too watered down in the process, in my opinion. So I'm just going to pour a few here for you right now. Now, for me, Trenton, I know this has been asked as well. How long do I leave it sit on ice before I drink it? Truthfully, not long. A couple minutes or so. That's it. Because in my opinion, if you leave it sit for 10 minutes and then you start drinking it, then it's just too watered down.
Fair enough.
So you lose quite a bit of it, all right? I'm going to do one more here real quick, Trenton, while we're letting that sit just for a second, and then we'll get started. How's that sound?
Yep.
Are you excited?
You might convert me today. I don't know.
Hey, you never know. Something new. Hey, it's something fun, right? That's what we're all about. It's all about the fun.
Well, okay, and I don't drink all my bourbon neat regardless, because I'm trying to be cool or whatever. I just haven't found that there's one, and I do have the Coy Hill at home. This is 140 proof. Mine is 145 proof. I consider drinking that over ice, but it's not something that I pick up all that often, just because it's
we will get to that one
insane
here by the end of the video, because I've got some words about that too. Now, how do you want to go about this? Would you like to take a little taste of it neat first?
Yeah, I'll do the neat first, since that's typically how
this is the rare breed. Of course, you know that, Trent. It's 116.8 proof. All right? Everybody knows Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Fantastic selection. One of my absolute favorites. One of Trenton's favorites as well. Now,
so, when you...
I'm gonna from the same thing.
What was your process like when you were figuring out... I don't even know how I'm trying to say this. Did you have Wild Turkey Rare Breed on ice first, or did you have it neat first and you were like, this is a little too hot for me, or how? Like,
no. Any new bourbon that I ever, bourbon whiskey, no matter what it is, I always try it neat first, regardless. Okay, because you get your true flavor characteristics neat. Okay, but since I enjoyed some of these other higher proof bottles that we'll get into in a second a lot over ice, I just kind of by happenstance tried the rare breed, because I don't think the rare breed actually drinks extremely hot neat. I just don't.
I agree.
But I just out of curiosity, I tried it with the ice and I loved it that way. What's your thought on the ice?
So I feel like it enhances the flavors a tad. For me, I get a little bit more of like a tobacco or something.
Yeah,
it gets amplified a little bit more than the rest. It's good. I would stick with it neat personally for the rare breed, but I could see why you might choose with the ice.
Now he hits on a couple excellent points with this situation here, because there are certain whiskeys and bourbons, in my opinion, if you put it over ice, it kind of boldens or even enhances the flavors. But I will tell you this, Trenton, I have tried some I poured over ice that's made it worse.
Interesting. Okay.
It is interesting. I can't give you a scientific reason why, but some of them I try to go, okay, that was not a good idea for whatever reason. This one I love over ice. The next bottle I want you to try, buddy, is the Knob Creek Single Barrel. All right, this is the 9-year aged stated single barrel that they have now. It's 120 proof, in my humble opinion.
That's definitely Beam right there.
I think it has a little bit of a bite to it.
A little bit, yeah.
That's just me. I think this one has a bite to it.
And I haven't had this before, I don't think.
I love the flavors, especially in their store picks. I got that Longhorn bottle over there still that I'm milking because it's fabulous. But I think this one has a bit of a bite to it, unlike the rare breed. This one has some bite to it. That's why I originally tried it over ice. Love this over ice. Absolutely.
I could see why you would like it over ice.
Oh yeah, I love that over ice.
Not that, and again, this doesn't drink like 120 proof, but it's got those typical Beam kind of characteristics. But with ice, man, it makes it a really pleasant.
It mellows
experience.
That out a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Sure
it doesn't make the typical Beam profile stand out as much, and you get it lends a lot better to the nicer flavors.
Good, all good points. Sweet. All right, next one, bud, I want to try. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, right?
Hammered.
This is going to be fun. Usually I'm the one up here drinking more than I should. 130.6 proof, right, Trenton? 136. 130.6. I want to make sure I say that correctly. That's my bottle. They're going to vary just a little bit.
I have not had this bottle in a hot minute.
Wonderful flavors.
Very
right?
nice.
And while you're drinking that, I'm going to prepare the last two. Wonderful, wonderful flavors.
Almost honestly. Like grapey, a little bit. A little grape,
nice.
Little grape note.
Look at this kid go. A little grape note. Huh. Now, for me, 130 proof gets a little hot for me.
A little bit, yeah.
Now, can I drink it neat? Yeah, I can. But it gets a little warm for me, personally.
I feel like this is something you drink neat when you have like a nose blockage or something. You're trying to clear your nostrils a little bit.
That would definitely
That'll do it.
That would definitely do it. That's for sure.
So it's interesting though, because for me, it drinks less hot, but it doesn't do much for me for the flavors that I get. It almost it seems like it's colder. Drinks maybe like 115 proof, but the flavors for me are basically the same.
But it's still good.
It's good.
But he's right on the money with that. Honestly, some I feel it enhances flavors, and some I feel it worsens it. And some, like you just said here, it's roughly the same. It's
nice
just
neutral.
Just not as proofy.
Yeah.
And for me, when it comes to 130 proof, that's just what I prefer.
Yeah.
I'm not a real high proof guy, super high. I like barrel proofs. My wheelhouse, honestly, in bourbon is anywhere from 100 to like a 115 or 18.
Okay.
That's my personal wheelhouse. When it comes to Scotch single malts, I love those that get in that 92 range.
Yeah.
But for bourbons, you get much more than that. It's kind of like out of my comfort zone for me personally. Now, this one here, we just got into this not that long ago, several weeks ago.
It's incredible. It's like I just picked one up today. It was so good. It's like $15.
Yeah.
You really can't go wrong with
it was a little
What's
less.
the proof?
I think it's
$125.
Was it $15 for you? I thought it was like $20, but I could be wrong. Anyways, it doesn't matter, right? It's close to $20. Benchmark full proof, 125 proof, Trenton. Now, to me, I love the flavors in there, right? You got some really nice. Boy, you got some butterscotch going on.
That's my favorite one so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that something? Well, now you heard it from the
Sweet tart
kid.
note, folks. I get a sweet tart note from this. If you love candy, get it. I mean, you really can't go wrong.
I can't deny there's a lot of sweetness in there.
There's a lot of sweetness in there, especially for the proof.
Yeah, 125
That's really
proof.
nice.
To me, this is another one though. Trenton has some bite to it. That's just me. I love the sweetness in there, but it does have some harshness, just a little bit of a rough edge to me personally.
And I don't know if it's my palate or what, but I like it better neat. I get less sweetness with the ice.
Maybe I'll try. Honestly, this is new. I haven't really had a lot of opportunities to try this on ice because it's new to us here. I just tried it one time and I noticed it took off the harshness for me. That little bit of the bite, just a little bite that's in that bourbon.
Yeah, I completely agree, but and this could be my palate. It does exactly what you said, but for me, it strips away that sweetness. Like it kind of gets lost in the water that gets diluted.
You know what? I have to agree a little bit. I don't have a lot of exposure on this one yet, but I'm going to go back to that after we're done with the video and see.
Yeah.
But very possible. This could be a case in point where certain bourbons or whiskeys poured over ice doesn't help it a whole lot.
Yeah.
It could be that. Could be that.
Interesting.
All right. The last one we got for you is the Jack Daniel's Coy Hill. All right. 140. My bottle is 140.1 proof. Your bottle is what?
I got the highest proof bottle I've ever seen. Mine's 145.7 or something. And this doesn't include the 375 hazmats or whatever that they released at the distillery. Those are like the tiny ones. But yeah, I got the highest proof one that I've seen at 145, and I haven't drank it much.
Well, let me just tell you this.
It smells incredible.
Flavors are awesome. The nose is awesome.
Rich, nice.
I'm not taking away anything from that bottle. What a great job they did. All I am telling you as a consumer, in my personal opinion, I'm not lining up for 140 proof, dude. I'm just not. I kind of like my tonsils. I still have them. I want to keep them. So it's just not me. I mean, I'm not even gonna try that neat. How's that sound to you? I did when you first brought it down, and it's fabulous. And you all know how I drink when a sip when I'm trying to test something out. I get a little bit, quite a bit of it. Not that one. I just took a little one because that's just hot. That's just hot for me. So, what did you think of it over ice? Because as you see, I've drank a little bit of it, and what I did drink, I had over a block of ice.
So I don't know. I think the flavors are really nice in the neat, but it's really hard to get past that.
It's fire, bro.
The fire on your tongue.
It's just awful. It's just heavy. Not the flavor. It's just the proof. It's just too much. So
I will say that with the ice, though, I get more of the flavors because I think my palate's just focusing less on the fact that it might be lit on fire. So I mean, this one I really like over ice. I'm gonna go home and try mine at 145 and kind of see how it compares to this one.
Sure.
But this is solid over ice.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would drink this neat ever.
No, I wouldn't.
So right now I have this in my bar only to give people as like hey, try this, and then they're like, holy crap, what is that? And I'm like, well, this is 145 proof.
I could see you doing that. You didn't even tell them what the proof is, did you?
No,
that's something you would do.
Well, so I'll have people that come down and they're like, hey, what do you recommend? So I'll give them a couple things so they kind of get acclimated, and I'll start low and start creeping up there. So I'll finish like with a rare breed or something. I'll go right into the Coy Hill. Really, really shock some people, to say the least. But this over ice is actually surprisingly really good. Yeah,
I think so too, and I do enjoy it over ice as well. So, anyways, it was a fun experiment today, wasn't it?
It was.
I mean, this is what I can tell you. Again, I will reiterate: drink what you like the way you like it. What I would suggest if you're using ice is try to invest at least into a larger ice cube tray, or watch our clear ice video. Do you think you can put that right here?
I'll put it right here.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah, and I personally, rather than taking several cubes of kitchen ice, is going to dilute too quickly. So if you have at least a larger cube, whether it's clear or from a larger ice tray, it's going to take time to dilute, and you can actually enjoy the glass before it gets too watery.
Yeah.
Because then it ruins it if it's too watery.
Yeah.
So I usually drink it within 2 or 3 minutes of pouring. And you know me, I'm usually done by 20 minutes probably.
Yeah.
That's just how I roll. Give me a couple pretzel rods and some bourbon over ice, and I'm like,
you got a good night.
That's a good night. That's all we have for you today, boy. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. Hey, we'll see you next time right now with me and Trent in a good old basement bourbon bar.
See you later.
There you go.